It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we have a beer from the Virgin Wines beer advent calendar for Christmas. It's battered now. You can probably just about see it was a polar bear in a Christmas hat. But it's battered because we're on door number 16. It's been a really lovely calendar, this. I just did door number 15, which was a Brick Brewery American Pale Ale, Peckham Pale Ale, American style Pale Ale. Fantastic, really good, really good. And now door number 16 has offered me Lervig's House Party, which is a 4% ABV session IPA, 330 milliliter can. Looks pretty fantastic to me. It really does. Look at that. House Party. Big jumping stuff. I tell you, it's funny though, on a serious note, I like the can design. I have had this beer a couple of times before. There was a time where you could always buy Lervig in the UK. Big kind of like Norwegian craft brewer selling their beer into the UK. Originally a lager brewery. And then they had a craft brewer go in and was like, let's rip the rule book up and do things differently. So they started making all sorts of imperial stouts and porters, IPAs, pale ales, sour beers, and you know, for a long time they were doing great things. They probably still are doing great things, but, and here's the but, being Norwegian, some of their beers are quite expensive. And with this kind of cost of living thing over in the UK and whatnot, I think that's why they probably retreated back from our markets a little bit. Plus all the paperwork that now needs to be done to get Norwegian beer into the UK. That must be a nightmare too. So you see a little bit less of Lervig beer in the UK than you did only like 3 or 4 years ago. And to be honest with you, I'm only saying this now and thinking about this now, and realising this now with this can of beer in my hand. Like, oh, I haven't seen Lervig in a while. Isn't that funny? Right, beer, let's get it out. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. House Party, let's go IPA glass. So this is probably the beer that, if you're going to know Lervig in the UK, you're probably going to know this. You're probably also going to know their Imperial Stout. Can't remember the name of it, but it's absolutely fantastic. One of the best Imperial Stouts in the world. And I think about 12 years ago, I should be sent a lot of Norwegian craft beer into the UK by somebody who watched the channel from Norway. It was the best, one of the best Imperial Stouts in the world. It really was. And they still brew it today. Can't remember the name of it though. Anyway, 1 finger ivory coloured head. Good levels of carbonation. It's one of those kind of haze bombs, isn't it? Haze bomby looking beer. Hazy, kind of strawish coloured, light amber. My glass might be a little bit dirty. You can see the carbonation clinging to the side of the glass. That's a sure sign that the glass is dirty. Aroma. Any sediment? No sediment. Aroma. Yeah, that aroma is really good. Really soft, really kind of pillowy. 4% ABV. Great Norwegian water. Soft water. Tropical aromas, a little bit of orange peel, a little bit of grapefruit, little bit of pineapple and mango, passion fruit, not too much thankfully. It smells great. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Juicy, 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 juicy. That's all I can say about this beer. A real juice bomb of a beer. Oh, just throwing that beer on the inside of the mouth, just to release more of that flavour. It's very refreshing, it's very drinkable. It's a little bit kind of almost slightly kind of chalky in the mouthfeel. It's almost quite dry. Flavours it's all very light and soft. All very, very light and soft. This is probably one of the best examples of a 4% ABV beer that you can pack full of flavour. It really is full of flavour. Juicy, tropical, like drinking juice really. A little bit of sweetness to begin with from the malt. Next to no bitterness on the back end. So a touch of sweetness, next to no bitterness whatsoever. It's just fantastic. Fantastic. So, what do Lervig say about this beer? It used to be a case years ago where there'd be great big descriptions on the back of cans and bottles, but you just don't see it anymore. It's just the ingredients. So they are water, barley, hops, yeast, and of course, barley, which is malt, of course. And then in other languages, probably sold around the world, it's www.lervig.no if you want to buy the beer. Imported by Cave Direct, which seem to have a little bit of monopoly on imported craft beer in the UK. You always see Cave Direct these days. There's not really that much more I can say. It's a really good 4% ABV session IPA. If I was to be critical at all, I'd probably say session New England IPA, but everybody seems to be dropping the New England bit these days anyway. So maybe I should take that criticism away. It looks good, it smells good. I could drink this all day long. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.